Hello friends, I am Sarah.
I'm Vicky.
Welcome to Moral Story.
Welcome to Moral Story.
The most notorious of the family killings in Chaitkiya, Japan, is still under investigation today for the murder that took place 20 years ago. With 12,545 clues found in the murder case and 46,044 police officers serving, the killer has not been caught. So what is this case? What happened to that family? Come see in full.
Let's go into the video.
Let's go into the video.
Chaitkiya is located near Tokyo, the capital of Japan. There is a ground in this area. There was some residential area around it. It was inhabited by 200 families. In an effort to enlarge the grounds in the area, the Japanese government arranged for people in the area to be relocated. All this is happening in the year 2000. Everyone who lived in the area vacated the place and started relocating to another place.
The family of Mikio Miyazawa lived in the same area. They are home with Mikio, his wife Yasuko, 8-year-old daughter Nana, and 6-year-old son Rei. They all lived in the same house. The house was divided into two and lived with their family on one side and Yasuko's Redi, sister and her husband on the other. Both houses looked like the same house from the outside, but there was a wall across the inside. There is no connection between the two houses internally. If you want to move from one house to another, you just have to come out of the house and move on.
As a result, most families in the area were evacuated in December 2000. Only 2 families stayed there as they were not allotted a house elsewhere. In a few more months they too were in the mood to vacate the house. In the early hours of December 31, 2000, Yasuko's mother, Azizino, called Yasuko as usual. No one picked up the phone.
It was a few hours after dawn and Ashi wondered why no one woke up. Then he went to Yasuko to see if he could go home and calling. No one opened the door. So he suspected he had another key. He hadn't opened the door and went into the house. A huge shock awaited anyone who went into the house.
Mikio was stabbed to death below the stairs inside the house. Yasuko and Nana were brutally beaten to death in a pool of blood when they went inside the room. On the second floor, Rei was strangled to death. Asi was shocked to see this. He had no idea what had happened. Unsure of what to do, he picked up the phone to call the police for police assistance.
It was only when he picked up the phone that it was revealed that the phone wire was cut and the phone was at home. He then came home and called the police. Police arrived at the scene and began an investigation. Preliminary investigations took place. Guess how this murder could have happened? They made a guess at the location and position of the bodies of those killed in the house, among many others.
According to it, the front door and the back door of the house were locked and only the window of a room on the second floor of the house was broken. So it was assumed that the killer might have only gone that way when he came that way. The boy Rei was found dead in a room near the window he had broken. He
also suffocated to death because he was strangled. So the killer who came into the house was the first to strangle and kill Rei. Mikio was murdered under the stairs and died. At the top of the stairs were native blood stains. Rei may have made a noise when he suffocated while holding it. The killer may have killed Miki on the stairs and pushed him down the stairs.
The police then came into the house and thought that Yasuko and Nene might have been murdered. He was also inside the house where the murder took place. In particular, he has used some of the ingredients in the house.
Has used Mikio's computer. With that he searched the internet for some things and tried to pre-register the ticket to go somewhere. Since then he has also used the Mikio home toilet. The last time he left the house, he stripped off the clothes he was wearing in the house, grabbed Mikio's clothes and escaped on the way home. Coming in and going out has been the only way.
With all the evidence available, the police thought that this was how the killings would have taken place. After that they started asking the neighbors who it was. Yasuko's mother, Asi, first started the investigation. He has no information about the murder. He was in a state of not even knowing what was going on and what was going on.
Yasuko's sister and her husband were later interrogated. They said the noise came from the house at night. The husband left as if there might be some quarrel between the wife, and for a few seconds there was no noise, so we thought nothing seemed to be a big issue, otherwise we would not have known what happened.
A turning point in the case came when its family was questioned by another family who lived in the area. He said they mysteriously saw a vehicle parked in front of the house 2 days ago, and the day before they had 3 people skating on the field next to the house, and Mikio and they got into a fight because they made too much noise. He said they saw it through the window of their house.
But Asik and Yasuko's sister's family knew nothing about this. From the scene, the killer took off his shirt, blood stains, information that he had used a computer in Mikio's house, his fingerprints, and traces of it as he used the toilet in Mikio's house. The police confirmed that there was a new DNA with the DNA of those who died through bloodstains and that it would be the killer's DNA.
They then conducted investigations at various locations. Mikio, where Yasuko worked, information about their previous animosity, Nana and Rei, as well as cross-examination of Asi and Yasuko's sister's family. There is no use in this. But a foot taxi driver contacted the police following the media coverage of the incident. He gets a very important clue through.
He also showed his car to the police, claiming that the bloodstains of the injured were still in his car. When the police took the blood sample from the vehicle and checked it, it matched the blood sample of the killer found in the house where the murder took place, so they confirmed that it was the killer who got into the car.
Thus the case did not come to an end except that the trial was going on. The trial of this case was half over without reaching any conclusion. Thus none of the inquiries into this case found a culprit. Why not even identify the suspect?
The inquest into the cause of the murder was conducted on the assumption that the robbery may have taken place for the incident. But most of the money in the house was intact. Only a very small amount of money was missing. It is speculated that the total amount was calculated based on the information provided by Asi and that Mickey may have spent the money in Asi's account or without Asi's knowledge. Thus the police believe that robbery is not the motive for these murders.
Well, if it could have happened due to lust or desire on the part of the woman, then the two murdered women, Yasuko and the other Nana, were not subjected to sexual violence before they were killed. But Rei and Mikio were killed more brutally. By this they concluded that the killer might be a psycho who did not seduce women.
This is the only information available so far about this murder. Japanese police have been investigating the case since the day of the murder. They are investigating in various ways, thinking that somehow the culprit in this murder case can be caught. It has been almost 20 years since any suspect was caught in this case.
The above are the only incidents that have been discovered so far in this case. A total of 46,044 policemen have so far been deployed in the case to do this. Many escaped the case without being able to find anything in the case. A total of 12,545 clues have so far been documented in this case, including key documents including DNA, blood samples and fingerprints. Even so, owning one is still beyond the reach of the average person.
Who killed Mikio and their family? Why were they killed? How did the killer get away with so many documents about the killer? Does the murder have anything to do with skating players on the field near their home? All this is an unsolved mystery.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.